Well, here we are for album number 2 on albums that you probably don't have, but you should. Today I'm going to try not to make you seasick. I've actually got the camera or the phone steady, and that's great because it's time for probably my favorite album of all time. By a band you probably know, but you may not know this album. This is the album A Trick of the Tail by Genesis. And there's our front and back cover. What's cool about this is that each figure has to do with one of the songs. This is classic rock. It came out in 1976, and every song is a classic on this one. It's just the best album ever, I think. There's not even a thought of skipping any of these tunes. This was the first album Genesis did after Peter Gabriel left, so it's the first one with Phil Collins on vocals, but it still has Steve Hackett on guitar as well. 8 tracks on the album. First track is called Dance of a Volcano, and again, a little character there for each song. This one, I've seen people do YouTube videos just raving about this one song and its form and how it's constructed and how incredibly complicated the arrangement is, but it still sounds very catchy and lots of fun on that one. The second song is Entangled, which takes things down on a nice quiet song, very acoustic, and just a lovely song with great keyboards on the end. This one about going to the psychologist and lying down on the couch. First song, obviously pretty self-explanatory, is about going onto a volcano where the volcano kind of explodes at the end, and there's actually a great instrumental section at the end of the song just with the eruption of the volcano, which is just great. The third song, another classic Genesis song, is called Squonk. And Squonk, here's our Squonk, there he is. A little creature, mythical creature, who, as the myth went, was an animal that if you ever caught it, it could escape by crying and dissolving into tears. And the tears would just the animal would vanish, and it would just completely become just a pool of tears in the sack that you may have caught the animal in trying to catch it. So a great little story about the hunters going out trying to catch the squonk. Fourth track is Madman Moon. When it was an album, this ended side 1, another soft song about going off into the desert. Then the second side of the album, but the next track is one called Robbery, Assault, and Battery. This one is about a thief and how he's a son of a very rich, well-to-do person, and he goes for fun, the thief, and robs banks and ends up shooting a security guard, but he always gets off due to his father's wealth and money. So just sort of playing the system and that kind of thing is what that song's about. Then we have next, is this my favorite track on here? Well, it might be. Dance of Volcano is pretty great. So Squonk. They're all just fantastic tracks, but Ripples is the next one that actually Genesis brought back on their 2007 reunion tour, and they actually played it as a surprise out of nowhere. Soft song, just about the passing of time and the coming of old age, and old people sort of looking at their reflections in the water and wondering where the time has all gone. Then we have Afterwards, another great story. This one's the title track, A Trick of the Tail, where we have another case of capturing a creature who looks devil-like, I guess. Let's see if we can find him on here. Here he is right on the end here, and he is captured, and when he wanders away from his city of gold, and he's captured and put in a cage, and everybody kind of looks at him and experiments with him. and he is able to escape by leading the people to his lost city of gold. But of course, just before they get to the city, the creature vanishes, and so does the city, and they're left with nothing. Then this album comes to an end with the Los Endos instrumental at the very end, which is just a great bookend. It's almost like a coda or a reprise. It has bits of Dance on a Volcano in it. It's got bits of Squonk in it. Just a perfect bookend for this album. It's just an unbelievable album. There's not enough good things I could say about it. Great storytelling, great classic rock. The music, great. The storytelling, great. For a first crack at lead vocals, Phil Collins is great. Steve Hackett's great. They're all great. It's just the greatest album. So there's our album number 2, A Trick of the Tail by Genesis.